Hello again, vinyl community. This is Matt, and today I just wanted to show you a few recent vinyl finds. Actually, they're not so much finds as acquisitions, I guess. I got them all on eBay, and yeah, there's just a few records here. I thought I'd go through them real quick. So, starting off with Best of the Grateful Dead. I'm not a huge Dead fan. Definitely not a Deadhead, which is a term I didn't know until a former co-worker of mine mentioned it a couple of years ago. She said she used to be a Deadhead, so I put two and two together and figured out, okay, she's talking about the Grateful Dead. I don't know when this originally came out, so it may or may not be a reissue. It does have a barcode on it, which normally points to reissue, but for all I know, this came out in the early 80s or something, I'm not sure. Actually, you know, it has a copyright 1974 on it, so it's definitely a reissue because they did not have barcodes in '74. It's in really nice, excellent condition. There's a little bit of a dent on the spine here, but everything else is very good. Record's in very nice condition too. Let's see. Next up, we have Jimi Hendrix Experience. Are You Experienced? This will now be the second Jimi Hendrix album I own. I also have a bootleg album of his. And I think this may be an original pressing. I'm not 100% sure. No barcode or anything. It's on the Reprise Can label. Which actually makes me wonder if it's maybe not an original pressing. This might be a repressing from the very early 70s, but it's got classic tracks on it: Purple Haze, The Wind Cries Mary, Hey Joe, I think, is another song I've heard of. So yeah, I was pleased to find this. I got it for a good price, and yeah, for that price, I think I paid maybe, I don't know, $10 plus shipping or something. I figured that was pretty reasonable. Also have Rolling Stones Flowers. I do have a few other Rolling Stones albums, but not very many. I have Hot Rocks, and maybe Tattoo You or something, one or two albums, but this is only like the third or fourth Rolling Stones album that I actually have. And again, this was a good price. I don't know for sure if this is an original pressing, but I'm pretty confident it is not because it's in such good condition. No barcode, but I really struggle to think this is any kind of original pressing. I really doubt it. It wouldn't be as glossy as this. It does have a few classic songs of theirs. It has Ruby Tuesday on it, which was a big hit, especially in the UK. It has Lady Jane, which is a nice song that I like. Let's Spend the Night Together. Let's see what else. Mother's Little Helper. And yeah, it's just great. I think I got this for $5 plus shipping off eBay, and it's on the London label, the blue London label, same as Hot Rocks actually. Original inner sleeve, although it has been taped at the bottom. So yeah, here we go. So what makes me think again that this is probably not an original pressing is that although it is on the London label, it's not heavyweight vinyl. There's no way this is close to 180 grams or even 150 probably. I mean, it may be like 120 or something, 130. It's not super heavy. It's not as flimsy as records became from like the mid-70s onwards. It's not quite as flimsy as that, but I do think this is likely a repressing from the early 70s. Okay, next up we have Elton John, Madman Across the Water. I actually got another copy of this album that came and it was warped. I'm going to do another video about that, just about a few slightly negative experiences that I've had on eBay. For the most part, probably at least 95% plus of my eBay purchases have been fine. No problem. Over the years, I've bought and sold hundreds and hundreds of different items on eBay. Not just vinyl, but lots of different things. Video games as well. I used to be really into gaming. Not so much anymore. I still I still game often, but not like it used to be. I used to go to, GameStop and different game stores all the time, and I rarely go now. I couldn't tell you the last time I went into a GameStop. But this is in really nice condition. It's very glossy, which is nice. I believe it is an original pressing. Of course, it's gatefold. Very simple on the inside. I've got a picture of Elton right there. And really the reason I got this is probably the same reason most people get it, is it has Tiny Dancer on it. It also has Leave-On on it, but I already had that on Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2, but Tiny Dancer was not on that album, unfortunately. I think, I know I overpaid for this. I think it was like $8 plus shipping, which is more than it's worth, to be honest with you, but I was so irritated after I got the other one that was warped. Again, that was from eBay, that I just was like, screw it. I went on eBay, found one that was supposed to be in excellent condition, and just bought it. Last up, we have a little bit of a change-up. Those of you in the US may not know who this guy is. Anyone in the UK will, for sure, but it is Cliff Richard Private Collection, 1979 to 1988. Anyone who's seen my 45 collection videos, you might have seen him. I do have a couple of his 7-inch singles, but Cliff Richard was, or is, I guess he still sings probably, he a rock and roll singer originally in the 50s. He was sort of a, I don't know, a good-looking, clean-cut, not all American because he's British, but like an all British boy back in the day. He was like a teenager when he first started, and then he had hits in the 50s, 60s, and onwards. I think I'm correct in saying that he is the only artist, certainly in the UK and maybe in the world, to have had a #1 hit record in 5 consecutive decades: the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Just amazing longevity, actually. And, it's not like I'm super into him, but I wanted this album because it has two songs on it in particular that I wanted. One is a song called Some People, and here's the back of it, which was a #3 hit in the UK in 1987. And it also has Mistletoe and Wine, which was the UK Christmas #1 in 1988. And it's just it's a nostalgic song for me. I remember when it was a #1. And so I thought, you know what, let's just get this. I got this from vinyltab.co.uk. I actually bought it through eBay, although I have bought directly through their website as well. I find that their prices are usually pretty reasonable. I've bought a number of 7-inch singles through them before. The only thing is, of course, with it being from the UK, I'm having to pay for shipping, international shipping to the US. But even with shipping, I think this was only like $8 or $9, and it's a double album, so I was happy to pay that. So that's all the vinyl that I've gotten recently. I did just get a little piece of audio equipment today, and it's this Realistic Tape Control Center. In reality, I'm not going to be using this for tapes, or at least not exclusively for tapes. I just wanted a switch box because I have too many things that I'm trying to put into the amp. The amp can take 5 inputs. You can have phono, tuner, auxiliary, tape 1, tape 2. Well, right now I have tape 1 going to the cassette deck, so the compact cassette deck. Tape 2 goes to the 8-track cassette player. Auxiliary is going to the CD player. Phono, of course, is going to the turntable, and tuner is going to the tuner. But I also have a laptop that I like to hook up, plus an auxiliary line that I'd like to have free just to plug an iPod into. And also, if at some point I do decide to get like a reel-to-reel or something, this will give me more options, and because it can switch on both input and output, and there's the back of it, there's a lot of flexibility. You can set both what the input is, so I can say, okay, the input's going to be CD, let's say, but we're going to output to cassette, or we're going to output to the computer or something. So it's going to give me some more recording options. I do have actually a little it's a Behringer converter. I guess it's technically a digital audio converter of sorts. It'll convert analog to digital into USB, and so I can run that probably from this to the computer, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not going to do it yet because I still have the new Pioneer tuner and cassette deck that I'm waiting on. Those haven't arrived yet. Hopefully this week. They are in transit. I checked the tracking today. They're on their way. The amp's still working great. The amp that I got last week, really, in fact, I've become more and more impressed with it. It sounds amazing. It really does. It's and of course I like the blue fluorescent lighting as well from the time. I did make a little mistake in my video about that. I think I said it was from 1982. It's actually from 1980. The cassette deck that I'm getting is from 82. So that's it for now. Thanks again everyone for your messages and for subscribing, and until next time. Thanks, bye guys.